The Rutgers basketball team is black and disgusting.
That's a wrap for Don Imus. Finally, the scariest Don of them all. Don.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce you all to my suspenseful son. Don.
Family Guy probably has one of the best original moments in cartoon history. But did you know that it has a lot of references to movies and pop culture? Well, get comfortable because we're gonna show you some of the best references that we've found.
Everybody still awake? All right, big finish. Now, you remember that Stephen King story when a guy went up to the empty hotel and there were those creepy twins and the guy was running around with that axe and the kid talked to his finger? Oh, can't you see Stewie doing that? Well, here's the Shawshank Redemption.
We're pretty sure that you all know who Stephen King is, right? Well, this episode is a clear ode to this master of terror's work. In this classic from the 7th season of the show, Peter discovers Stephen King's writing, and he starts to imagine his whole family as the protagonists of many of his writings. He even rushes him down in the episode. The works he parodies go from Stand By Me to Stewie playing a big part in Misery to finally showing The Shawshank Redemption. If you're a fan of horror stories and a big Stephen King fan, we firmly recommend this episode.
Well, the airplane got her.
Oh no, it wasn't the airplane. 'Twas beauty killed the beast. You know, Brian, here's your shot. Go for it. Oh, too late.
No, it's not.
There have been many times in which movies have been mentioned in Family Guy, but what about some series? Well, we choose a very obscure one because it's Hannah Montana's time. Both Miley Cyrus and Hannah represented a big part of the Disney Channel's early 2000s success, and in this episode, Stewie became friends with the TV megastar and forged a very strange and funny friendship. Apart from focusing on this interaction, the episode focuses on a very cool sub-story that includes Chris trying to demonstrate the existence of an evil monkey that's been ruining his life. This is such a cool episode.
Meg!
What the hell?
Where'd you get that hat?
A girl gave it to me. Every Wednesday night, they auction some of the girls off.
Wednesday? What a weird night to auction girls off into slavery.
There is a courtesy shuttle that runs every 20 minutes.
What?
Ah, damn it, we just missed it.
Who loves a good action movie? Seth MacFarlane seemed to love them because the plot of this episode is really inspired by the movie Taken. In this episode, Meg ends up kidnapped after a trip to Paris turns sideways and she falls victim to some French band. To solve this, Stewie and Brian find themselves visiting Europe to rescue their beloved sister. The episode also includes Stewie wiping Meg's memory with a neuralizer like the ones that were used in Men in Black. If you're an action film fan, this one's for you.
Well, we clearly don't have all the evidence yet, but that's never stopped us before, right? Oh, there's no other cops here.
Young guys going camping? A serial killer roaming across the camp? Does this story ring a bell to you? Well, this was a common theme in the slashers of the 80s, and most concretely, we have a cameo from one of the big bads from those slashers. Say hello to Jason Voorhees and his son, Justin. The main plot of this episode revolves around Peter sending Chris to a fat camp and an investigation after someone starts hunting some other kids from the camp. Apart from the cute little Jason cameo, the episode has references about the famous Queen song that names itself and a reference to the 60s Batman series.
Oh, God!
Oh my God! That shark's attacking Quagmire!
I think it's got him by the wiener.
Man, that guy can get anyone to do that to him.
You know that when midnight comes, you can't feed them or give them something to eat? Gremlins was one of the greatest hits of the 80s, and it has a little place in this amazing episode. When the whole crew of Peter, Cleveland, and Quagmire are on vacation on top of a boat, Peter starts telling a story about what happened to Cleveland after he got wet. And to prove his point, he threw some water on his friend's skin, and Cleveland started to duplicate relate right away. This is not the only horror movie that's referenced in this episode, because right at the start of the episode, we see that a shark attacks Quagmire. But if you've seen the movie Jaws, you'll recognize that the scene looks like the opening of that same movie. Too many references on this one.
I'm going to do something really nice for Rupert. Show him how much he means to me, Annabelle. Oh, no, I don't want you to kill anyone. I'll let you know.
Don't go upstairs, there's a murder doll waiting for you. If you're a fan of Paranormal Activity, you'll find yourself at home while watching this episode. In The Talented Mr. Stewie, we see that our little friend Stewie goes upstairs and finds that in his house attic some horrors are hidden. What could this be? He could be sad after the recent breakup with his stuffed bear Rupert, but he didn't expect to find the murderous girl Annabelle. This episode might carry a sad story within because we see Stewie's most sensitive side, so we think that you should watch it. Also, the episode is a reference to the awesome movie The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Can we please stop this?
You just asked for specifically that. It's not 6. What else?
I like that Antiques Roadshow.
Fine.
And you're saying this is...
George Washington's poop. That's correct.
I have some news you might not like. The poop is only 2 weeks old.
Disney is known for doing reboots to many of the licenses that they buy, but what could they do to Family Guy? Well, being such a big phenomenon, we know that some cameos can happen, and in this episode, Peter becomes BoJack Horseman. This transformation might be one of the latest that happened in the show, but seeing Peter as the main character of another famous show is so funny. This episode also transforms many other characters to different beings like superheroes or many other Disney-like creatures.
So I guess Thanos got the Mind Stone.
Wow, so now he's got all of them.
I guess so.
What does that mean for us?
I have no idea.
I knew it was gonna be us.
Oh my god. There's a hot woman over at the bar.
Thanos was a very bad villain, and we all know about the Infinity Stones, but we have a very cool reference to find in this episode. Because right at the start of the episode, we see that our guys are having a good drink in the Drunken Clam. While enjoying their conversation, Peter talks about how Thanos has discovered the Infinity Stones that he didn't have. Soon after that, and much like in Avengers Endgame, Cleveland and Joe start turning into dust. Our heroes are disappearing. This episode has a lot of cool subplots, including Quagmire finding a new girlfriend and Stewie and Brian finding a garbage island.
Okay, they're obviously home. You'd have to be dumb to try to rob that place. Oh, yes! I hate the guy, but he's good.
From one famous movie to another. Have you seen Rear Window? Well, Brian goes full-fledged into the plot of that movie, adapting the whole plot of the episode to it. We can see many of the movie's most famous scenes, like Brian watching from his window with a telescope. There's a scene where Brian also makes a big reference to other movies, much like Home Alone, where he sees some shadows resembling the movie. Also, Meg has a scar referencing the movie Raiders, and Quagmire goes full-on Batman after escaping with a grappling hook, much like Christian Bale did in Batman Begins.
Hey, you know you got Chris suspended from school for telling one of your dirty jokes.
Oh gosh, Peter, I'm sorry. You want me to talk to him?
Well, no, actually, I want you to tell me the joke.
Yeah, tell us the joke.
You want to hear it? All right. So this chick meets a guy at a bar, and P.S. Your vagina's in the sink.
We've seen many famous figures making cameos in Family Guy, so we couldn't forget about terror mastermind Freddy Krueger. Right at the start of this episode, we see that Joe, Quagmire, and Peter are discussing the source of the dirty jokes that they've been enjoying. After spying on Peter, Quagmire takes a brief nap, and we see that he was exchanging jokes for money to Freddy Krueger. Freddy might be a master of controlling others' dreams, but he seems to be a great comedian too. Well, there you have it. There are some cool references that you can find in Family Guy. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel so we can provide you with even funnier Family Guy episodes. Until the next time, goodbye.
Hey, who are you?
Just act natural, and even though you're Mike, try not to use your radio voice.
Hey, Providence! This is Peter Whirly Bird Griffin coming at you on a sizzling Sunday afternoon.
Here, no!
Wait a minute. You're the new Don from Quahog. Follow me.